Hey, how are you? Glad to be back with you. Remember this guy, Anti-Fiat Week, XAG, time to buy, time to buy, time to fly. Yes, we're back. We're back with you. It is the Market Sniper, also the Crypto Sniper and the Reset Sniper. Too many Francis's. Must muzzle one. One is more than enough. Okay, good to be with you. And today we're going to be talking, it's the end of the week. First of all, we're going to be talking about the great week that was for the great silver assertion and overall precious metals bull, which saw gold knocking on the door of new dollar all-time high, stretch high. Yeah, baby. We're in the Georgian hat. Good things happen in the Georgian hat. That's right. So the chart, let's bring it in. Here she comes. Big smile. A week, a month, a smiley chart. It's the weekly chart of gold against the dollar. Yes, and a couple of lines. Let's draw lines you know you love to draw. You'll love to watch me draw, even though I am far from a Picasso. Here we go. So that was the big descending triangle fail. That was around about the 1525, 1530s a while ago. You know all this. And here is your big rounded bottom. Who doesn't like a nice rounded bottom? Yes, indeed. Here it comes all the way over. So on the big time frame, this is he. We don't want the line anymore. We want the freestyle. Freestyle me. Yes, here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. Now, you'll remember, we've recapped this many times, so I'll be quick. The falling wedge, all part of an upside HVF. We called over here around about the 1270s, the beginning of the gold bull. And that is old news. So we're not going to linger too long on that. It's old news. Plus, we gave you big targets, gold against the euro and gold against the GBP that were in macro HVFs. This HVF already performed, and in fact the inverted head and shoulders, as I've described, with the double shoulder here, the big head and the double shoulder there. That's a real messy scribble, but I've covered this all before, so I won't overdo it. I want to get to the new stuff. But remember, gold is the God market, and it permissions the move of its alt precious metals. You can see the bridge I'm building to crypto. In the same way, Bitcoin is the God market to the cryptos. So in the same way, for now and forever, in terms of precious metals, gold is the God market for silver. So silver lagged. It was all about lagging. It was giving you more time to load and stack on your investment level, but it was not giving you joy on the long side on the trading level. You needed to be in gold. So let's have a little look and understand, when do you close? When will gold, the God market, stop permissioning upside for silver? Because silver, now that it's moving, is moving at a multiple. We warned you and we were the first to call at around about 114. Yes, you heard right. On 114 on the gold silver ratio, we said this is a reversal from the 128. Silver's going to start overperforming gold. And you always trade the gold market first. You may remember, crypto people here today as well, you may remember Bitcoin dominance. I said Bitcoin is going to have the rally. Bitcoin must be in the move. You must be Bitcoin dominant. Forget your alts. The God moves first, and the others lag and wait. And they lag and wait until they get ready. Then they play catch up with that higher beta, and they sling it up further forward and faster. That's how it goes. So without further ado, where was that gold and silver ratio? Well, let's have a look at it and remind you, and then we'll go to the gold crosses. This, and many people have got this wrong. I've seen channels drawn. I've seen everything. We were modeling and talking about this for the last year. And there's not a Market Sniper YouTube that I do that I probably haven't brought this chart up. It's probably 2 out of every 3 streams you will have this chart, and you'll be shown the same thing every time. As a reminder, what is it? And it's quite simple. It is the following. This was a large rising wedge type structure. I've not drawn the line that well. Let's try that again. Let's have a second go. Like that. And we actually have pattern theory for what happens. This is the key thing about HVF method. It's not a technocratic thing that has beautiful diagrams in a book that never materialize in the real world. The things we talk about actually happen in markets often. And you can model for them. And I'm talking about a type 2 rising wedge. I've never heard anyone talk about more than one type of rising wedge. We have 3, and it's about the outcomes. It's about what does it do next. We are price behavior futurists. This is part of HVF method, and this was the rising wedge that came. And for those of you that want to find out how to practically chart in the real world, instead of getting stuck with theoretical things where you're never quite sure what you do, hit the link below, go to the Market Sniper site and hit the Get Started button and book and have a chat. It costs you nothing and there's no obligation and there's no hard selling here. There are no salesmen. You will talk to someone just like you only a couple of years before. Okay, so that was the rising wedge. You've got to pop out the top. You've got to pop out the top. Boom, you ran the 128 and at this level we were already saying it's rolling over. It's rolling over because we were expecting it. We were expecting it. There's always often a final melt up before you capitulate and you reverse. This we also teach you. It's practical charting. And on the downside, when something you think can't go lower any further, think Bitcoin 6,000 in the bear market, a final capitulation all the way down to the better part of 3,200 at its lows. And then you base out and then you move. And that kills the bulls, the final capitulation. And this kills the longs when they long too soon. And we said this was your best chance. You now swing your weighting of gold, God market bias, entirely silver. Hence the XAG. We said buy XAG. Unlike these guys that's sitting there trying to open a Bitfinex account. Name, number, and picture for you on YouTube, just so that you get the message. It's on the preview shot on all of them. And this was the week where it really asserted. It already happened. You spilled, good people, from about 113 XAG ratio down to 83. That is a massive move, 20. And I've spoken before what I think will happen. And it runs that low for me. It runs that low, which is in and around the 30 mark. In and around the 30 mark. Personally, this is going to be extremist. This is a global synchronized leper colony, all rushing to the hospital at once. That means extremist to the downside for the precious metals. I've even suggested single digit dip at its most critical point. That will definitely be a signal for exiting potentially silver. But you can start lightening up when the gold silver ratio in the macro investment game from around, because this is the question I get asked most, from around the 25, you can start lightening 20, 15, 10. And then I think, as I say, you might see somewhere between 5 and 10 and the gold silver ratio. And that will be a gold at a much higher level. But that will be kind of spike fill. It will be an event like this. You're may have to move quickly if you want to get your 9, if you're trading your 9 silver ounces for 1 ounce of gold, you're going to want to move quickly. And it may also be the time to get out of precious metals. And the state, your controlling structure, talking out of the reset sniper circle, may intervene before and cheat, just like they did with, don't tell me he's going to say HYG again, the junk debt. He is, but that's one of many examples. So that is the game. That is the game. So watch it. We may not get there. Don't hold everything. Don't hold your exit if you have got decent resorts just down to 1 point. You should probably, from, as I say, the 20s, start lightening up over a number of periods. In case the music stops, in case the big frauds, the thieves of this global world intervene and try stop you from making the money you deserve to make for being an investor in the right, real money and throwing away their fiat confetti and their future electronic digital token. Anyway, so that's where we're going. So you've got to think about it. Just do the math. Gold, when we were on the XAUG, the gold dollar chart, you saw is close to making a new high. How much higher does it go in this market world that we're in? Well, if you speak to the likes of Rycard or anybody else, I think it's a guessing game. I'll use the technicals. You know, it's the same as with Bitcoin. I have a Bitcoin target for this particular move, and we have a methodology for overperformance, how we manage that part that we leave on after that. That's called method. Wow, I wouldn't have been able to sleep this week if I didn't have method, because I know when I'm closing most of my taking 60% to between 50 and 60% off on my silver trades. Let me tell you, huge week in P&L. Huge week last week. And I'm telling you, we're using Scandinavian Capital Markets, and you can use the link below, and we traded 100x. 100x. That means we were able to have tens of thousands of ounces of silver during this week. It is life-changing money. It's sinful to make what some people take a year to make in such a short time frame. But this is the nature of the game. We are speculators. We take the risk. It can also be taken away from us. And we have real method. If you want method, click the link. Okay, so gold-silver ratio. We've come back into these previous levels. It would be at some point, we're going to expect some degree of a little bit of pushback. But let me just say, the pushback in total is probably going to be on the scale of these kind of events in what will be a lot overall spiller. That's the value of non-leveraged positions. You sit them out and they don't get hurt. For those of you that are using a little bit of leverage to build your investment portfolio, you have to be more wary of these pushback events, even if they're not going to be very big. Overall, I think it's going to be a spiller, a thriller, and it's going to come all the way via the COVID-19 Malaysian airline that sunk from Manila. Down she goes. And that's what I'm calling. But your problem is this. If you're using leverage. And that's where you've got to understand the principles of money management and not blow up. You want to catch the key moments, and technical analysis can help you. Just as it was helping us with all the analysis we were doing in our premium community during these areas there. Great to see. Anthony Wealth there. Mark says QQQ got screwed too. I actually like the NASDAQ for a short at the moment, actually. 2 shooting stars on the double weekly. Go look at it for yourself. NASDAQ for a short. How do they stop the precious metals bull? I don't think they're going to stop gold making a new high, but there'll probably be some pullback coming soon, and we have our targets. And guess what? They're only a few 50 or 60 euros away and 50, 60 pounds away. We wait for the HVFs to finish to target. And then the pullback, we will close our silver 60% there, maybe more. We'll overperformance manage what comes next. And I think we get fear and COVID-19 and Mark II and danger. Everything's falling apart. The world is a mess type news. Maybe a bit more rioting, a bit of food shortages, a bit more the world is broken, and the stock market sells off, the NASDAQ sells off, etc. And that is deflationary, and that will lead to a little bit of breaks maybe on the anti-fiat trade. That could also pull Bitcoin down for that little down leg, or maybe, who knows, we'll see. Maybe it's first cup gold nugget and it keeps going. We'll come back to cryptos later. We're doing the metals. It's a metals week. It is a silver week. So let's talk about those targets, and I will remind you again. And this you've had for free from me. From the very first time I drew these HVFs on gold versus the euro and the pound, because the dollar has been a bit unique in its structure. You've had those for free from me as when there is likely to be a pause and or rest. By the way, this right here was your COVID-19. Jeff Berwick loves that. He's got me hooked. I don't know who that crank is, but he's so funny. Anyway, that's your COVID-19 shakeout. So let's be clear. The only thing they could do that might have slowed down this gold train was decimate globally SMEs. Restaurants, coffee bars, travel, liners, airlines, hotels, B&Bs, hello, good night, closed. Yes, not for a month, not for 2 months, at least 3, going for 4, 5, still limping back. Put everyone on masks so that they don't want to buy, don't want to walk around with masks, don't want to go to the high street anymore at all, so that you have to dress up like a slave. Look up the history of masking slaves, by the way. Dress up with a mask, or go to Amazon.com. Amazon.com will help you with all your packaging needs. And our cleaners will make sure they wash their hands in sanitizer. Yeah. Or watch Netflix and sit on your couch and get paid for doing no goddamn work, because this is capitalism. Yep, that's what you got. That right there is what you got. You got Amazon. Amazon.com. That's right. And boy, have they been set up. Isn't it so convenient for all these little unicorns? Somehow a car company, Tesla, also got its pump, despite us calling it. I'm in disbelief about calling it. I think it's going to be one of those that fall on the NASDAQ readjustment. And I think you may have a little bit of a Tesla readjustment. But as I say, shorting unicorns killed Stanley Druckenmiller on one of his trades. So this is where we are, and this is where the big target was, 1688. Where are you trading now? Where are you trading now against the fatally damaged euro, which is currently going up, up, up against the dollar index? We gave you the dollar index. We said a rounding down leg now. It wanted to go run. We went long. It then stopped going up. It set up an inverted overperformance downside. Yes, that's right. We've biased long on the euros. So when we've been going long gold, we've done it against the dollar, not against the euro. Yes, on Scandinavian Capital Markets, links below, you can actually trade it against the euro as well. So dollar index coming off, and we've said to you, 91 to 94s, it's going to bottom out. That was what we said when it was 98 and a half. So it's coming down. It's coming down, and actually it's coming down disorderly fast. Now, I think they're going to want to do something about that. But there's that 1688, and now we forewarn you that as you get closer to that target being made, you may get a little bonus trade. You may get a bonus trade. So what's the bonus trade? Well, they'll just push your target out a bit more. And I assess that that is what's happening. So in actual fact, instead of getting the 1688, you might get 1744. There's always a small run through on your target. You don't get, this is not an exact science. This is not a GPS point to the millimeter. As the geometry grows closer to the target, you can assess, it's more able to give you a more precise reading. And it's initially conservative on the bigger time frames, but you naturally have a 5% run over on your target. As it gets closer, it sometimes signals to you. This is why I say the market loves you. It gives you information. You think it hates you by the way you trade. I was there once. The market doesn't hate me anymore. It just loves me long time. It loves me long time because I'm an ex-GI. I'm an aging GI. So that's what happens. And at 1744. 1744 is our boosted potential move. Then I think I'm going to be good to be out of my silver. So I will close gold euros at 1744, and we will close a significant portion of our leveraged, not investment, leverage pot, hot pot, lukewarm leverage pot, investment, unleveraged pot. Investment stays untouched. This is a beginning of a secular bull. We haven't even looked at the silver chart. It's coming. But this is your trigger. Your God market has the HVFs. Silver is a straight line up. It's an elevator. You don't know when it's going to stop. It's just so aggressively up. Okay, so your God market stops going up. Silver's already showing a little bit of lagging. You're getting a bit of pushback on the gold silver ratio. It swung violently, so it's slightly exhausted the last day or two, but that might be regirding its loins for another leg up if this gold is making that. And our assumption is always success. We size for loss. That's the stop loss. But the assumption is always success. How do you think that success has gone so far? Is it unreasonable to think that this is going to make it home. And by the way, this is something I won't be showing you, but I'll just tell you, you can find out if you do a program with us. In terms of time frame performance, this has taken 20% of the allocated time to get to target. Now this happens with good HVFs, and it happens with HVFs that are in secular bulls where further upside moves are likely to generate. In other words, as a momentum indicator, when I give you an hour to do a job and you finish it in 12 minutes, you are highly productive. You are highly productive. And it's quite likely you're going to get a lot more jobs done for me in a short time. And that's essentially what's happening here with gold. But we await the new high still because it's a token for the news headline writers. It's 1927. Let me already tell you that you're in new highs for just about every other currency apart from the dollar. That's right, the dollar's been too strong. If we have a look at this, you can see there's your euro. 1387 was the 11 high. You've smashed it. You're 450 odd euros better. That's against the euro. Same for the pound. We'll have a look at the pound. If anyone from the UK here, shout me up in the comments. I'm looking at your screen. I'll come back to your comments. Anyone in Euroland, I want to hear it. Where you're from, where you're checking in from. Australia, New Zealand, the East. It's your evening time. This is your evening entertainment. The Japanese, the Koreans, the Fijians. I'm going to say the Marshall Islanders, Tasman, New Zealand. We're glad to have you. And we did this intentionally so that you could catch up with us. Thank you for coming on. Give us a like and a share. Hit the button. Grab a Market Sniper t-shirt if you want. Are they great? And they will tell the world that you switched on. Okay, so coffee mugs as well. Must have your caffeine. Although I'm off the devil juice myself. I'm on the green juice now. So gold and euro. Let's do gold and pound for our English contingent. It was the old imperial currency of the world. It was the imperial currency of yesteryear. How's that one doing? Well, actually, the pound is very, very close to completing its journey to full target. Also, in about a fifth of the time it had allocated. Yes, wouldn't you love to know how we do time stops? How we know when a setup is okay, probably might just make its target or needs to be closed because the initial force is dissipating and it's a little bit toppy and there's scope for reversal. Yes, even when we don't make target, we usually make money. The time stop takes us out. And you can find out how. Hit the link below, book a call and have a chat. And you can find out about time stops. Anyway, little wind up as well on the euro. So against every other currency, it's instead of the dollar, which was unnaturally strong in the post 2008, 9, 10s boom, and is now having a period of weakness, and we're getting the euro strength. During this period, you are actually seeing that the pound is almost home and is also set up on the smaller time frame. We'll jump to the 4 hour and we'll show you that there's a little boost as well, fractal, coming up to around about the 1577 level. However, it has just made a small interim here and it's not beyond the realms. At some point, it has some degree of a pullback. Jump in too over leveraged at just the wrong moment and you could be shaken out and watch it go all the way. 1,577 pounds. 1,577 pounds. When this journey started, it was only just above 1,000 pounds. It was only just above 1,000 pounds. Let's confirm that. Where were we? How about that? And this trade was given to you, good people. How many of you put it? How many of you put it on and stuck to it throughout COVID-19? I got to do the face. COVID-19. From here, 27th of May, in 2019, you're a year later, you've made hard 50% on your money virtually. What was the break? 10,033. You were bouncing around the 970. We would have got you in on the falling wedge here, on the early entry called a break-in entry. You could have got in at 990 something. 990 something, and you would already be 50% to the good, looking to be close to 60% at 1577. It's not even August yet. Nice. Would you do it? Little bit of leverage, conservative leverage, 2 or 3 times. Could you have done it? Could you have put 100 grand in? Could you have put 10 grand in? Could you have put 1 grand in and leveraged it 2 or 3x and left it and said, I ain't closing unless it runs that stop at 970. I'll get in at 990. I ain't closing unless it runs that stop at 970, and I'm wanting 1513. And then later in our community we'd say, there's a bonus for you. Make it 1577. Would you take 60% on 3 times leverage of your money? You could have done it. Anybody could have done it. You could have set and forget and gone to sleep and gone back to work, switched your Netflix on and bought pump blow up doll from Amazon.com. You could have done whatever you wanted and the money would have been there. Well, it's not home yet. You can't count your chickens before they hatch. It could have, technically, could have a huge pullback just before that target. It's not typical of HVFs. By the time you're getting this close to home, especially when you're squeezing into a wedge, you typically squeeze home and then at some point, because they can't have the canary in the gold mine, illustrating to the whole goddamn world what an absolute fraudulent fake fiat system they have created, where they continue to dilute your currency that you've earned. They continue to steal from you, and then that money they've created they give to their special friends that are tracking you, face recognizing you, AIing everything you do, trying to put in chips and vaccines in you and all the other things. That's what's going on. You're being farmed. You're a farm animal. And they steal from you regularly. That's why the counterparty risk of being too smart is always there. When we get to the extremity of the bottom, they will steal from you. That's what they do. They are thieves. Don't expect a thief to stop being a thief. They live off you in a parasitic way. Okay, so that was a charming, sweet little statement, wasn't it? Let's switch over to the silver. So many of you will be saying, but, I've missed it. Everybody's always a sad sack who's just unlucky and missed it. If you watch a comment sometimes, sigh, I missed it. I don't have enough money to join your community. Oh no, one day, oh no. It's all happening. Reset is happening. Start small, build fast, but be smart and money manage. That's it. It's all going to happen. You haven't missed anything. In silver, you haven't missed anything. So let's be clear. The macro move, if gold goes to a conservative $5,000 and silver goes to, in my view, fairly conservative 20 or let's say even 25 times multiple, barely lower than 2008, and we're doing quadrillions to come, many trillions. I reckon 100 trillion globally will have been easily pushed through China, America, Europe, USA in the 10 years that is following. Like the post 2008, we're going to do it just with a whole new number of zeros. So in that, what I consider exceedingly conservative, 5 grand gold and multiple of 25, well, you can do the maths. Where's silver? 5 grand divided by 25. Well, divided by 100, it's $50. Multiply by 4, it's 200. $200. What have you missed at $22? What have you missed? Patience is all you're missing. The wealth is staring you right here in this chart. I told you what happened before it happened. It's begun happening. I'm telling you what's going to happen next. It's going to continue happening, and you're going to stand there and watch it and said, I could have been a contender. No, you've got to do it now. You've got to be in. You've got to get in. But I can't tell you that, you see. This is entertainment. I'm not a financial advisor, you see. Your financial advisor wants to sell you an insurance policy with government debt and bond portfolio to smoothen out, to smoothen. Smooth. Who doesn't like a smooth baby's bottom? All the pedophiles do in charge of the world. But that's a bit of digression on my behalf. you've got to not listen to the financial advisors, in my opinion. But I say that out of entertainment. I'm not an advisor, but I'm telling you what's happening. This is my view, and it's happening. So you can decide what to do about it. Silver. And I'm not the only one who's on this meme anyway. So silver, how is it done? I'm going to put a chart on here for those of you that are feeling sad. Sad sacks. We're going to come and cheer you up. We're going to cheer the New Zealanders up. We're going to cheer the Australians up. We're going to cheer up the UK morning wake, getting their sniper entertainment up. And we're going to make you feel better. That there is great sunshine to come into your life. So, that is the apex high of 2011. That's your gold chart relative to your silver chart. From the high, this gap has got broader and broader, and it started its bull run and has got broader. That is about the biggest broadness you're going to have. That's your 128 XAU XAG multiple. What happens next is what happened last time. Would you like last time? This is why we do technical analysis. It's never exactly the same, but it always rhymes. And the meme and the general gist is the same. So let's show you what happened last time we had a bull run. Gold, silver ratio. No, not gold, silver ratio. Gold and silver on the same charts. You see that there? This is called a swing the other way. And this is what happens in bull markets. And this is why silver is your altcoin to your God market, Bitcoin. And the alt market has just come alive, just like we were the first to call 2 months ago when we said you need to be long waltz. And we specifically said Ethereum was one of them. And we put you also, we mentioned Tezos and other. So over here, that's just in 2009. I haven't gone back. Way back, 2000. I haven't done that. I've just taken you from 2009. It had already had a huge run up as part of the 708. This is your overperformance now in blue relative to gold. That right there is your overperformance. And this is how you're catching up in 1 week. One. Say it with me. One. Who's number one? YouTube technical analyst for you, helping you do your reset. Hit the like button. No adverts. Say it now. The sniper is. We love you, sniper. Okay, so let's jump on to show you the bigger history. Let's go back to when silver was $4. Wow, guys, you're going to be talking about them days. Damn, this one hasn't got enough history. I hate that when that happens. The future. Yes. I need to get the future. Silver future. Too many charts. Give me a second. There she blows. And I'm going to get the gold future as well, because even that doesn't have enough data. Gold future. Put him on, Francis. Put him on. Show the people. Show him. Gold. There she blows. Right, now you got some history. The Brown's bottom. Gordon Brown, what a useless muppet of a man. What an absolute muppet. Brown's bottom, the selling of Britain's gold, 400 tons, no less. Think of that in today's prices. What an expensive little Labour blunder that is. And no, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't support the Tories either. None of them work for you. They work for the people who put them in power. When will you learn? Don't vote. It encourages them. This whole Black Lives Matter and all of these, Marxism and all of this is to get you so riled up and angry, you're going to show them and go vote. They just need your participation. It's like pulling the plug on their game if nobody endorsed them. And you say, but, then bad people can get in power. No, the bad people are already in power. They are already in power. Those are just the puppets that they pull the strings for. What you need to do is, the game works. If we stop endorsing their system, suddenly it's a reset. They don't get to control us anymore. Don't play. Do things that discourage. I know so many people hate me for that. Oh, we should vote. That's apathy. It's not apathy. It's non-endorsement of a fake, fraudulent, goddamn system. None of them work for you. They are all controlled. They all get power from corporates that send them money, that are all virtue signaling on Black Lives Matter, and they are all politically motivated organizations, and it's a scam. None of them. There's no point in voting, and it's not apathy. So there you go. So silver, bear. Look at that bear from here. Let's get the lows. The ultimate lows were around about here in 93. That was the last highs. Look how silver pumps when it gets good. Look out, and can I say, the precious metals market of '08 was into 11 was truncated. It never played out. We were in a depression, and the whole game wasn't allowed to run through. It wasn't allowed to run through. It was a half orgasm. It was like, and then no, squeeze tight, you're not allowed. No ejaculation. It never happened. That in the 80s is the closest you got to a full-blown bull run. This proportionately actually was a half effort. It never got the full job. So what's actually happened is we stored it all up. We got a bear market, but we never came full bear. And now we're going to go, and they won't be able to stop this freight train this time. And the extremity of the moves, I expect, will be off the scale in terms of the scale on this side. Off the scale in terms of how it will end up over here. So let's go to that 93 low and just do the looky-likey comparisons there. So you all agree precious metals were pretty much in the toilet. It was all tech stocks. Buy Amazon.com. Yep, it was. And gold did what it did. That's how silver overperformed, relatively. That's how silver has overperformed. So this bit, the orange line is your gold. Please remember that. This is your overperformance from here. By the way, silver was $4, sub 4. You could buy for $3.87 an ounce of silver. Feel that coin. Ping it. Hold it. Real money. Real money. Yep. So that's where we are, and that's how they differ, guys. That is it. That is absolutely it. And this is the mega pump you get. You should build up an investment pot out of trading profits. Choose your trading points very carefully. If you do, don't over leverage. The move makes the money, not the size. The move makes the money, not the size. The move and the patience. It's compounding. You see, the game is they always put you on the wrong side of a compound interest equation. You've got to stop them from doing that and actually put them on the wrong side of a compound interest equation. They are coming for cash. They intend to kill cash, guys. So here's a just camera view. Alexi, George. Camera view solely. This is a monologue. They are coming to kill cash. It's not under discussion. It's not under debate. It's an absolute hard fact. Rogoff, all these Ashkenazi Zionists, all intend, all these outriders that are professors, etc. And there is a clear reason why they're coming to do it. And those reasons are the following. Their official reasons are tax, money laundering, criminality. These are their official reasons. Actually, all that KYC that you do, all those forms that you do, someone did a study, there's less than a fraction of 1% of people who've been intercepted for underpaying tax or doing anything of a criminal nature. It's control. It's control over you. Okay? So the study shows it's actually not the reasons they give you. criminality, fraud. They are the biggest child smugglers. They are the biggest drug facilitators. Along with Five Eyes Mossad, they are shipping in and showing the boat routes and giving the dinghies and helping the guys buy them, that bring them dumping onto Dover, dumping into Italy. They are the criminals. That is their official ruse. They do all things of criminality on any scale. Scale criminality. We have petty criminality. That doesn't mean you can't have a murderer. That's not dark state, but I'm just telling you, real scale, real business, real control, well-organized oiled machines that are piping more future Black Lives Matter protesters from Libya, Syria, Central Africa into Europe because we're so racist, is all done at an actual dark state level. So it's nothing to do with official reasons. Here's what I'm saying to you the actual reason is. The actual reason is they want to kill cash because they want to be able to implement negative interest rates, have everything electronic, where they can take money from you in real time and confiscate. In other words, government decreed theft, taxation, another form of government decreed theft, yeah, and negative interest rates, another form of government decreed theft. So you get what I'm saying. It's theft, theft, and theft. So one is confiscation, the other is taxation, real time, upfront. So everyone's electronic, everything's blockchain, they have all the matters, they can have an algo, you just earn this, we'll take our tax now, thank you, pop, pop, pop. And negative interest rates because you aren't spending and borrowing so that they can turn their huge debt ball. The whole perversion is as above, so below. It's an entire inversion. People that are prudent and save and invest versus people who spend, they want to punish those that don't have debt. So all these people have accumulated huge debt. They'll now be paid for owning debt. And you won't have the same access to create debt. So that is the reason right there. Now, why am I telling you? Why did I do the sidebar? Why do I take the chart away? Because I'm going to take you back to gold. What happens when negative interest rates and theft through electronic money and confiscation and taxation, where you have this in the ether account, suddenly can see fines, social scoring, punishment, levies, road tax, all just zipped out of your account at any point that your balance is in this dynamic nibbled status all the time, and that you can be punished, confiscated from. What happens to, and negative interest rates charged on your positive savings. So even if you've not worthy of confiscation, you've not broken any law, and you have an amazing social score, but you have $10,000 of savings in an account that you're hoping to buy a few things and grow a little bit, each time it's sitting there, it's getting nibbled. As time goes by, you're on the wrong side of the compound interest rate, and they're nibbling it, and they're nibbling it, and they're nibbling it. That's the game. So what happens to gold? You put it in a hole in the ground, you come back and the ants have eaten half of it? No, it's still there. It's still there, and it still has all the properties it's always had. So as this technological end game, you've only experienced a half cycle. Think of the extremity that I'm implying technically. It's not on the scale of these charts that I was just showing you. That's what's happening for gold and silver. And I'm afraid crypto can in time be sucked into. They will release their own digital assets. Crypto can in time be sucked into a negative inflation rate if they centralize coins. So watch for these blockchain assets that they're coming. Let's go back to charts. Let's go have a look at that silver chart live right now. And then we're going to cross over and look at some comments, some chats, and then we'll do a little bit of crypto, and then we're going to wind the stream up. Let's hear what you do. Write your notes. Feel free to comment. Feel free to ask a few questions. I'll have a few. I can't answer them all. By the way, you've got an amazing community on the other side. Let me just say to you, there's people that have earned in single trades what they paid. single trades, and everything else is absolutely free, and they have all the advantage of that for the next year. And it is reset season. There has never been a hotter time to be in this community. And of course, I would say that. I'm telling you, this is reset, guys. The whole business I bought is like, I'm one surfer and I'm waiting for 160-foot wave. And you guys have been going out with me on there's 5-foot waves and 5-foot waves. And now the perfect current is here, and we're in Hawaii, and the swells are starting to come, and they're already starting to hit 30, 40-foot waves. And you can come in now and ride the 60-foot record-breaking wave, or it now probably needs to be 100-foot in Nazar. But anyway, it's happening. And it's going to determine your wealth. And let me tell you, they're coming to steal, because that's what they do. Okay, good. So back to the charts. Silver. Where stand you now? We're going to drop onto a lower time frame and have a little look. Okay, normally, technically, I wouldn't be particularly excited about that, but this is such a truck and trailer scenario. The trailers had to catch up with the truck. It was on a bungee cord instead of a normal tow rope, and it was getting left a little bit behind the mountain, but then stretched so long it's starting to go oing, oing, and it's catching up with the truck. And that's the truck and trailer situation. Normally I wouldn't be super excited, but actually this is what we call potential for squaring up. There's a capping descending line. A capping descending grind line, you can learn about that in our community. If gold is going to turn up, which it is wanting to do, I think we still got a good shot this day to run the 1927. I'm going out for a social event. I'm not going to be here this afternoon. I'm going to be enjoying myself. Why? Because we had a great week and I don't socialize much. It's time to meet and greet. But I can tell you, it's probably going to happen while I'm away. And I want you all to tweet me out if we do a 1927 goal. Give me a tweet out and say, yeah, Market Sniper, we threw the 1927 goal. That's what actually happened. We were in the silver in an upside HVF. Its target was over here. That HVF, let me drop the time frame. Beautiful little wind up. I closed most of my position, I have to say. And then I saw the head and shoulders. And I said, if that head and shoulders doesn't reverse, this structure here, usually don't. Everybody wants to trade head and shoulders. They never understand context. Reversals is a mug's game, guys. Even talking about the NASDAQ as a short. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, particularly on indices. But I still think it'll happen. And here was the setup. That setup gave us that target right there. And then once it starts pumping, I knew we're now into overperformance zone. Back on, back in it. Look at the gift you get. This is abnormal overperformance. This is catch-up time. This is a trailer, a heavy trailer on a bungee cord that reached its maximum stretch and is now bouncing back to catch up with the truck. And that is the best way I can say it. So if gold goes up, silver will go up. Silver will go up. But there might be a slowing down of the gold-silver ratio for a bit because it's been an absolute spiller and it's spilled into quite a heavier area of the mid-80s where we spent a lot of time. The previous high was only around 89 and we're kind of back into just through those levels. So I don't mind. I'm still in the silver and I've got gold. Leverage trades. So you could do it too. Right, let's have a look at the comments and see what you guys are saying. Need a sip of water. So, Canorama, Paul Sam, thanks, I'll check it out. Barney Rubel, lose the fake queen and get Joseph Gregory Hallett, the new king, pair up with Francis and take down the old guard. Yes, they have to square up the banks, take opposite side of every trade because they know 90% will lose. What ETF can I buy as an American? Currently have IB. So there's 3 silver ETFs. SILV, S-I-L. There's SILJ, S-I-L-J, I think, or S-I-L-V. And there is a really large one. Those are ETFs. Trade those short term. Let me say for your investment, get physical for your investment. Eventually, the ETFs will start to diverge and they're going to use their legal force majeure, all the cheat clauses. So you'll get a reasonable proxy now, although they don't always track exactly, be warned. In fact, there's a small one that's low liquidity, but is much better for tracking and lower cost. Costs matter. You want the lower cost one that has the closest track if you're going to trade it. But I would not substitute trading an ETF on silver for actually accumulating physical. So you should do that as well. So what else have we got here? Can the central banks control the price of gold? Only to a point, because they have to give you their printed up tokens. And what's happening, people? What's happening right now is there is a loss of faith. Faith, he says. There is a loss of faith in fiat. Fiat means a faith system. There is a loss of faith in all fiat. Gold and silver is the canary. Gold and silver is the canary, and there is a loss of faith in fiat, and it's global. This is economic case history, guys. You are living the first scaled, globalized leper colony. Fiat, fakery, fraudulent system, transitioning to a new electronic money, fiat, fake, fraud system. Gold does very well during these periods. Silver will do exceptionally well during these periods. Expect them to come for it in time and plan accordingly. That is not for me to tell you what that means. But at least make the money in the meantime, because de facto, to not entirely steal from you, they'll give you some shit digitized money nonsense in exchange for it, which ideally you don't want to be in that position, but it's better to get a whole bunch of their new money than be the guy who's poor and is a slave, UBI, and having to take the vaccine, the electronic passport, all the other stuff that's coming that will be mandatory. This is a slave farm you live. Wake up if you aren't there. Watch the Reset Sniper. Has Silv and eToro has Silv and it's ASIC approved. Yes, says Mark. Edgar Lubingo, will silver pull back drastic as this initial impulse? So silver's move, when you saw from the monthly chart, is the first significant impulsive move that we've had since the bear market all the way back to 2011 highs. So yes, there may be a pullback. I wouldn't expect it to be near as big as you might hope. And I expect the next leg up potentially to be even more violent. Don't forget, this is just starting. And silver's got to go catch up on it. What else is... The cap is actually from Georgia. Bought in Georgia, made by Georgians for Georgians. I am tapping into my inner George. Will silver retrace? Yeah, we covered that. Where does one learn about the reality of the financial system? Too many books to show you. Too many books to show you on cabinets here. I've promised a YouTube on that and I've not delivered it. It needs a recording one, but I need the studio is very messy. It's got lots of stuff, lots of lights, lots of audio stuff. So it's a bit of a clear out that has to happen to access the bookshelves. And I've actually only got part of my reading here. I do have a tweet that says reading books for trading and some that has economy that goes out on auto tweet. So if you're following at the Market Sniper, I will also ask my people to put it back on. I take them down. I don't want to keep saying the same thing once every week forever. I take them down and we leave them off for a few months. Is this winter in South Africa exceptionally cold? Who knows? I may not be there right now. I am a man in the ether. But where I was staying when I was there, it was balmy and warm because I was on the north coast on the Indian Ocean. Is the cap Masonic? I'm not sure. I don't think so. This is their flag there, and that's a crown. But I will say Georgia is the home of the Khazars. And I went there to record and read a bit of history on Stalin. Actually, everyone thinks it was Russian communism. No, it wasn't. It was Georgian. Nearly all of them were Khazarian, Ashkenazi Georgians. Lenin, Trotsky, all of them. So actually, Russia was had a Trojan that came into Russia and did this to them and caused great pain. Never seen Peter Schiff so happy. Yeah, he is happy. Crypto. So let's see, because you bring up Peter Schiff. Crypto relatively lagging because it was a little bloated. So let's do the crypto session and move on. Peter Schiff happy as a clam. Smiling, smiling, smiling. I'm going to take the gold off now. For now, it would have been interesting, but it's a little bit wacky. So that's Bitcoin. So we did some very interesting analysis. I did vacillate a fair amount on this one because I still feel there's the scope. If we get the NASDAQ sell-off and we get strong deflation, we might go a little bit higher here on crypto for a bit. But I still feel there might be scope for another down leg. But I've also said there's the possibility of the one gold nugget. The one gold nugget, the first cup gold nugget. There's 5 cups and you've got guesses. And there's only a gold nugget under one of them. You may pick up the first cup and it actually has the gold nugget and you're done. You get it on first go. So if it suddenly found real mojo and blasted from here, we could already be in the breakout. Structurally, the market doesn't have to give me the pattern I want. It can preempt me and it can lag. So who knows? But overall, this support, if we go get the pen, has been very strong at the 9,000. So there's a key level of significance since this move. So this was all getting up onto the 9,000 level. Just run, dip below. Then we went to the 10,000 level. You can see these 2 key levels of significance. The 10K and the 9K. So you just got onto the 9. You sat just under it. You wound up. We traded that to the long side, by the way. I'm out of screen. I'm out of shot. I need to move this like this a little bit. Stay in screen and shot. We then wound up from that and we shot up and made the 10K. We then get spat back down sub 9. We then calmed down. We squeezed. We've revisited the 10K, made a marginally higher high. And then all this was falling wedge. And we've broken out of the falling wedge. But we're still in the key levels of significance of the 9K to the 10K. That is where Bitcoin is. But it is the God market and it has authorized, by not going down, the alt revival, which is where we gave you. Wait for it. Ethereum. We said Ethereum will outperform. And you know me. I at one point during the bear market said you can short Ethereum against Bitcoin. You can short Ripple against Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance was everything. Remember that. So we flipped when the time was time. And we flipped to BTC. And that was on the Bitcoin dominance that I did it. Let's do it. Here was the Bitcoin dominance chart. Let's get it up on a bigger time frame. And we started to call for you various things. We said that is not good. That's downside for Bitcoin. Overperformance alts. We said that, not good. Downside for Bitcoin. We called that. And each time it's come. Each time it's come. There you broke down. There you broke down. Big channel. There you broke down. This is a slow staircasing down. Initially, it was fairly bullish. It was a falling wedge. Could be continuation. Nice break. It fizzled all the way back. Set up a rising wedge. Set up a channel. That was a rising wedge stroke pennant on a smaller time frame there. And down she's going. This is a bleed out. After the big bull bias Bitcoin. We kept you bias long Bitcoin for better part of 2 years. Yes, it's true. And then we said, time to switch. Here. That's when we said, time to switch. Bias to alts, and the YouTubes came out, as you know, and that's what's happened. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, much easier to use the finger. You've gone and got the kit. Use your finger. This is beautiful break. We gave this to you. We first gave it to our premium community. We first discussed it. We made a much bigger deal about it. We're talking about it every day. They're more likely to be in it than you. Why? Because they committed their energy and the resources, and they're here to listen and grow, and they're here to trade, and they realize that's what it takes if you really want to grow your money. It's not something you do as a hobby on the side. You get serious. You've got to treat it as a business. So more of them will be in it than you because they heard more about it for much more, and they heard about it sooner. But I did, out of the goodness of my heart. Now, that's a terrible thing to say. I did certainly share it with you to help people who say, I don't have money. I can't get in your community. I don't know what to do. Because we want to see the everyday man grow forward, especially if he's prepared to work and grow. The rest is down to you. The rest is down to you. You heard it. You heard it. Ethereum to overperform. Guess what? It's doing exactly that. And It slowed down a little bit because it just made second interim. How many methods do you know that tell you when you're going to rest? On your way to going someplace. We told you, 31s. We said 2.5%, big line, key level of significance. This is all a wind up. Look how long you sat in the stall box at the 2.5. Then you had a little upside HVF in there. My community saw it before it broke. It was shared, it was discussed. And then you got a wind up. So many chances not to miss the train, but you're missing them because you don't know where to look and why. Some of you are, some of you are making it. I'm happy for you. I want you to make money. But I want the people that invest more to get the higher value. And that's why we have what we have. That's the funnel down there. So this is a conservative draw. We have two possible versions of the draw. This is the one the conservative draw means at minimum we get out there, but we may take a bit more. So that's Ethereum against Bitcoin. It's overperforming. Want to see it? Why not? Let's see it against your dollar. Soon you won't care to benchmark anything against dollars. I want to know what your wealth is in ounces of gold and silver. That's what I want to know. And Bitcoin. How many Bitcoin ounces of silver or ounces of gold are you worth? That other stuff, that's going with the pound, the euro, and the rand, and the lira, and all these other scammers. It's all a scam system. They're all running a scam. All governments run a scam. It's not about one nation state against another. They're all running the scam against the citizens, and they need all nations to play and say the same game and to manage their sheep and livestock in the same way. That's why they talk about herd immunity. I'm not a part of any herd. I've never been a herd animal. I am a human. My name is Francis. I'm not the person, Francis. That's a legal construct. So there you go. Lovely little fractal that's moving and the potential that you get oversized move here. But we'll explain that. Again, you need to learn why. Because that's disproportionate. You'll learn more. If you want to, hit the link down below. So Ethereum, overperformance against the dollar. Very nice. 239 to 271. This is on small time frames. Many wind-ups. It wasn't the first time we prioritized Ethereum. We prioritized it there. And our guys got in and made money on it. And after we were in, and as it was breaking, we said, let's the freebies get a little bit of a sniff of the ball. And you could have made money and made target there. So that's what's happening. Potential, longer run, if we get into the bull, but there might be a case for a little down leg. Hasn't taken that high yet, but I think it will because we have targets beyond that. So you're going to have a few things that are going to run technical levels coming soon. That was Ethereum. So, Lord Rothschild, I own all of you. You are what you think you are, says someone else. Yeah, sounds plausible. Okay, let's have a look at Tezos. We'll do Tezos BTC first. Again, I'll just draw it freestyle. These are very strong up legs. That was a falling wedge. So we anticipated that. We were in here. And so far it's done just fine. I had someone on Twitter saying, you're still in Tezos. It's not working. I'm like, you're not working. You don't have patience. What do you expect? It's up. When did you get in? What price did you get in? Did you buy here? That might not be working so well, but you might still get saved. In fact, I think you will. So falling wedges on down legs and impulsive moves to the upside, very bullish. We take an upside HVF on that. We have a target from that. Tezos against USDT. Love it as a macro for this reason. That's a big time frame on daily. And it's a big move. That's off the chart. And it visited our funnel and supported on it. And bounced back up. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. Sit tight. Make money. The money's in the sitting. The analysis and the sitting. Not the frenetic cat. Where's that meme that has the cat doing this on the keyboard? Da, 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 da. That's not making money. That's activity, not productivity. The money's made in the sitting. Do you know, I had a Bullion Vault account. I was buying Bullion Vault, must have been a decade. It was in the red. I just kept buying it. But it has a P&L section where it shows how much you spent and what it's currently worth. I think for about 9-10 years it was in the red. It was macro, it's coming back and it's going to go. And I kept doing it. It's fundamental, it's reset. And I know technically I'll have leverage trades. I actually was short silver and short gold and accumulating at the same time. I had a 10-year red P&L on investment stacking, supposedly. This little account calculates how much you spent to buy what you bought. Now, whoosh, whoosh. Isn't it time you went whoosh? And I'm not talking about Nike, Black Lives Matter Nike. I'm talking about your whoosh to your financial wealth. And this is what's going down. Good morning, says Tar Alam. Good morning to you. Show us the gun, sniper. Yeah, I did my back. I'm like not in best shape at the moment. But I've lost my lockdown weight. I'm very proud of the fact I've fallen from 94 to 89 kilos. There you go. I'm shedding it, but I need to get fit and strong again. A little bit of back stiffness. Francis, will the reset, I think he means, apply to all stocks, including valuable stocks like Tesla? So reset doesn't mean stocks crash. Listen to me. The financial system and the engineering of the financial system reset. It's about money and the transition to digital money. It doesn't mean all stocks crash. Old world stocks, banking stocks, restaurant stocks, where everyone's buying and having it delivered by the likes of the electronic equivalent of Amazon that does meal delivery and keeping you away from socializing and isolating you and giving you the internet to play on. That new structure, there will be companies that are dying, but there are also going to be companies that are going to be mooning. Don't forget, as they kill the dollar and everything's still measured in the dollar, just to stand still, you have to go up because the dollar is dying. The dollar is dying. All fiat systems that you currently measure is inflating away and is dying. So stock markets will generally go higher at the indice level, quite a bit higher. But I'm no interest in chasing them because other things will go up higher faster. But there will be certain tech positioned future winners that'll go higher. So even though I might say there's this possibility of a down leg on the NASDAQ, on a bit of a fear and loathing sell-off, and they'll pump the news headlines and it's all just terrible world out there and bring the fear back in and create a bit of a sort of depressionary feel. Again, the stock market will come down and it'll go back up, the indices. And you will find, apart from old world stocks which are dying, there's going to be definitely a polarizing on the stock market. Some companies will lose their raison d'etre. Tech, AI, all of the spooky stuff, man, that's going to go up. Military industrial complex, long run, going to go up. Old world businesses, old world functioning. There's going to be a real inflection point in the way we live globally in the first world. And there's going to be a lot of companies that die, like Xerox and Polaroid when digital cameras. Only instead of one industry like that, you're going to have the entire money system industry do that. So there's going to be Xeroxes and Polaroids that are going to die. And in the same way, there's going to be Nokias that come out and fly, and then Apples that come out and fly, that take over digital photography. Nokia was initial mobile phones, but they also, the first isn't going to be the biggest. Warning on Bitcoin. Warning on Bitcoin. I talked to you about God market. I talked to you about dominance. But Bitcoin is probably not the best tech. The first is never necessarily the one that wins. A real warning on Bitcoin, guys. Everybody gets too married. It's as long as it's the most dominant, I'm going to stay with it. But I expect that dominance to drop, and I expect new winners to emerge. And actually, right now I'm more bullish fundamentally Ethereum than I'm bullish fundamentally Bitcoin in terms of how they manage their tech. I mean, listen to smart guys, Richard Hart, he might has a little bit of an angle with his hex thing and all of that, but look through the bump and the sales pitches and his own book, but listen to the understanding of the tech. You know, he talks about two coins that he's not physically, personally overly invested in, and you can hear there's other people when you listen to them. Bitcoin, still far expensive and slow. DeFi, which is coming, it's not going to probably happen on the Bitcoin network. In other words, Ethereum looks like it's the backed winner. So for now on that space, and others. I don't want to get into fundamentals too much. I'm not even an expert at that at any level, but I'm just saying, there will come a point where there will be an inflection on cryptos, and some will be old world cryptos and some will be the new ones leading the charge. And we'll see it in the charts, just like we've seen Ethereum dominance against Bitcoin. And you'll hear a lot more about the Ethereum network when Ethereum is playing catch up against Bitcoin, and it's going up a lot quicker. Just like now, Peter Schiff, Mike Maloney will all be talking very positively about silver right now. So the newsmakers in the industry will talk about it. It's how soon do you see it in the charts and do you act on it? And that's all I'm going to do. So technological changes that I don't know about, I will see evidence when they mean material in the movement of the money. Charting is truth. That's what I'm here about. This channel really just wants to get to the truth. That's really what this channel. You want a simple understanding what the market sniper, the crypto sniper, and the reset sniper in a fake rewritten history world of propaganda and Bernays fact bending and fact checking by dark state funded enterprises. What actually is the goddamn freaking truth? Follow the money. Follow the money. We just got an alert on a pharmaceutical company because I follow what the venture company, capital company of the Rockefeller family invests in. We just got an alert on a particular pharmaceutical. Guess what? Would it surprise me if they happen to be one of the lead partners in global vaccines? Call me a conspiracy theorist if you want. I want to make the beans. Because if I have beans as a slave, I'm better than a slave with no beans. Okay, so if you want the truth, read the Bible. Well, Mangletov, to a degree, but you know, there's even talk of the Flavian Romans, my apologies, that followed Caligula and the big collapse of the Caesar dynasties, orchestrating and writing the New Testament. Because for tax, they saw it was much easier to collect tax if people were believers and tithing than if you were a tax collector. Tax collectors got killed. People killed the government when they came. I like those days. What do you mean? I must pay you money. Come the Jesus, get off on your horse. I'll take that horse. Go home. Blue eye. Go back to Caesar with a blue eye. And he said, and the message, he said no with a big explicative in the front of it. Those were good old days. So if you get their belief and their suspicion, then they just willingly trip it up right through. Go read on, watch some interesting YouTubes on the role of the Flavians and how they got, when they trapped, they got a Judean to write narrative. You'll note there's commonalities to many of the great religions. There's this deception everywhere. Deception everywhere. Remember, it was written by humans. Anything written by humans is capable of having inaccuracies and maybe having a motive. It's simple as that. Tim Jones, Francis, should I convert all money in the bank to gold and silver? I have 15 ounces gold, 500 silver, but 50K in the bank and no property. Maintain liquidity to see to your day-to-day needs. In my view, if it's me, because I can't advise you as a non-advisor with that amount of detail, I would not be advisory. I don't know what your living costs are. I'm not going to ask them here, but maintain that which you need for 6 months, and everything else I would be invested. I'm not sitting high cash levels. You know, when the bank shave, haircut, bail-ins, the other confiscation, theft, sorry, you just had too much beans in your account, punishment, wealth tax, and then the wealth taxes on your property and all these other scams, because it's the rich need to pay. There's too many rich, and they'll point to all the rich thinking of Amazon and all of them, but the system they'll implement will kill the middle class. The real rich will have offshore structures, foundations, and they have all their tax life vests. And they'll say, we're doing this just to get the rich. You're doing this to get the rich, like the 40% tax. It was a super wealth tax. That's how it was introduced in Britain. It all used to be in the 20s. A super wealth tax, 40%. Nurses pay 40%. Nursing sisters and policemen with moderate amount of rank and service pay the 40% tax on their income now. It was never designed for them. It was never designed for them. They come for the middle. They will come and crush the middle. The Burgoys, they call it. The Goyim burgoys. They will come to crush the middle. So do not have, even your deposit guarantees, I expect failure in nations and currents on that which they promise you. So certainly stay within those, but I still expect failure. It's much better to have something physical you own under your bed, even if that's all where you're going to keep it. You've got less chance of being robbed by a robber than you have of being bailed out. These are exceptional times, people. The criminal thieves are coming to steal from you. They want a global Bolshevik communism, like they did in Russia. Loads of Orthodox Christians died, don't forget, in the Holodomor. They're coming to do the same globally here. This could be overpopulation and other agendas. I'm talking out of Reset Sniper. You might not want that, so I won't carry on. But go and watch Reset Sniper vids. Go read about their intentions. So this is dangerous times, and it's polarizing times. If you're smart, you live and you become wealthy. If you're dumb, you die like a dog. That is the polarizing times that we live in. Okay, that's it from me, the Market Sniper. Quick update on the charts as you got them from gold and silver. And silver, we gave you levels where you should sell, and we said the God market tells you when to sell, because that's when gold rests. And gold, the truck will continue to pull the trailer. The truck will continue to pull the trailer until the truck stops. And the truck ain't stopped yet. And we gave you the levels for when we think it will stop. We gave you a little run by of why Ethereum was outperforming. And we reminded you that you could have been in there earlier. We gave you a run by why silver is overperforming. And that if you think you're late to the earliest part of being very early at the most beginning stage of a beginning. But you could be early to the next early stage that is still part of the early stage, that is a micro stage of many stages, going potentially to $200 silver, $500 silver, maybe $1,000 silver. Who knows? I'm calling at least 3 digits silver. And I don't think you're going to have to wait many, many years for that to happen. The printers are coming. The thieves are going to dilute your money. I've got to go. My back is starting to hurt. I've got to do more yoga. I'll catch you later. Thank you very much for attending. Give us a like and a share. Give us a like and a share. We do a fair bit of prep for being able to do this charting spread. I can't do it every time. It's a two-man job. Thank you to my supporters, and put it out. And remember, none of this is advice, but I mean it straight from the heart. This is actually what I think. On this channel, you get exactly what I think. There's nothing else put in there. There's no adverts. Because we like to say what we want to say, and we don't want some corporate dictating us. You can buy a t-shirt to support us. You can buy a coffee mug to support us. There's free mini series below. Go and grab it and watch it. It costs you nothing. I still haven't done a newsletter for this month. So you might get once every month, maybe every 6 weeks, what's gone on in the world from my eyes. That's it. We do not sell our list to anyone. We are not part. We are based in integrity. We aim to be truthful, and we seek truth. That is the core theme of this. And we're here to give our best assessment of what comes next in this world in terms of price behavior as a really, really good, I would say, world-leading global technical analyst of markets, using a method that nobody else has because it's self-derived. That is me. And that following of the money gives me insights that other people do not have, and we are happy to prepare and even offer some of them for free. You want them first, you want them best, and you want it regularly, you join the community, and there's a link below. With that, I salute you and I say goodbye. Have a great weekend, and give me a shout out if we hit 1927 on the big gold. Yep, and that'll be the beginning of the beginning. Let me tell you, the beginning of the beginning. You are not late. Do not be sorry for yourself. Do not build a victim culture. You can make wealth out of this move, and you can do it even if you start from zero right now. There's so much more to come. So get up on it. Take action. It deals with depression. Salute.